What is underinsured motorist coverage? That's our topic for today's episode of Main Street Law. I'm Cindy Speaker, and my guest is Indiana motorcycle injury lawyer Randy Sevenish of Sevenish Law in Indianapolis, Indiana. Randy, thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Randy, as I understand it, knowing insurance coverage inside and out is an important part of a personal injury practice. Now, I know, and we've all heard of underinsured motorist coverage, but let me ask you this. What is underinsured motorist coverage, and is it important for motorcyclists to carry?
Yes, Cindy. Underinsured coverage, or what we call UIM coverage for short, that's UIM, is likewise one of the most overlooked and ignored types of coverages bikers can have. And aside from what's called liability coverage, there is just no other more important coverage than UIM coverage aside from UM or uninsured motorist coverage. So to answer your question, UIM coverage is exactly what the name suggests. It protects you and those people dear to you if the underinsured wrongdoer is at fault and he or she has insurance, but just not enough insurance to fully compensate you.
Okay. Now, is this something that all bikers would have? Is it mandated by the law?
Well, sadly, no to both questions. And although insurance agents in my state are actually required to offer both UM and UIM coverages to bikers, the biker can actually choose not to have it by waiving it. And it truly amazes me just how many bikers out there choose to waive this very important type of coverage, which frankly, Cindy, can be the difference between protecting themselves and those they love and financial ruin. So as with UM coverage, which is normally sold together with UIM coverage, I have noticed a continuing and troubling trend of people choosing not to opt into this form of coverage. And then when they're seriously injured by an underinsured driver, they at that point realize the huge error that they made. And by then, frankly, it's just too little too late. So it's just best to have plenty of UIM coverage to start with, to settle up with the underinsured driver's insurance company first, then second to then begin to end up negotiating with your own insurance company up to the UIM limits. But absolutely do not ride without this coverage. If they do, in my opinion, it's frankly irresponsible and it places way too much needless risk upon the biker himself or herself, as well as their families.
Right. Well, Randy, how much underinsured motorist coverage do you recommend a motorcyclist have?
Well, again, under most policies, UIM coverage is sold together with UM coverage, and how much coverage they should have will, again, depend largely upon the risk that they're willing to take. Keep in mind that UIM coverage provides compensation to the bikers themselves, to their family members, and to their passengers when injured by a person with insurance, but just not ample insurance. So with the UM coverage, for example, it only makes sense to purchase at least as much UIM coverage as they have in liability coverage. So if you choose to have 50,000 in liability, then you should have at least 50,000 in UIM at minimum. But most bikers choose to be dramatically undercompensated. So what I would like to recommend is a general rule of thumb of having at least 250,000 per person and 500,000 per accident. And they should also keep in mind, just as with UM coverage, should they suffer a significant injury, only this time at the hands of an underinsured driver, that they need to know that their own insurance company will not pay them any more than the UIM limits they have agreed to buy as listed on their declaration pages, regardless of their injury, no matter how bad. And even then, their own insurance company will more times than not want to pay out the UIM limits. So in the end, the wise biker will carry plenty of UIM coverage before the crash happens and then get ready to fight their own insurance company.
Well, it doesn't seem like you should have to fight your own insurance company.
Well, that doesn't make it right, but that's the way it is every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Randy, what other best advice do you have for bikers or motorcyclists when choosing their insurance coverage?
My best advice is to buy as much UM and UIM coverage your budget and comfort level shall allow, because I must say, bad accidents just happen to good people. So don't be one of the tragic stories shared by people like me about to good people like you. So by having ample UM and UIM coverages will just frankly ease the burden of a significant injury.
Well, Randy, if someone needs more information, how can they reach you?
They can call me directly at 1-800 888-278-9200 or online at www.sevenishLaw.com.
Randy, thanks so much for your time today.
My pleasure, Cindy.
Until next time, this is Cindy Speaker for Main Street Law.